Hello, Kim Hughes here with my very first video tutorial for Paper Smooches stamps. I'm really excited. I'm here to help promote Simon Says Stamps 10th anniversary, and I'm excited also to be a part of their Stamptember event. I'm here to show you some tips and techniques of how to use your solid stamps, and I'm going to make a thank you card using our houndstooth pattern, sentiment sampler, which is our #1 seller, and daisies and paisleys. We're going to use this daisy flower petal, this leaf, and this center from this stamp set. This brad was the source of my inspiration of my color choices. Starting with a cream card base with a scrap paper on the side. And we're going to use the nautical blue ink pad. It's dye ink and it is a new pad, so it's super juicy. So I'm going to start with the center. It does not have to stamp perfectly because it's just being used as a guide. I'm going to use the solid side of the flower petal first. And since it's super juicy, I'm going to stamp off the ink so that I have a lighter flower petal on my card base. So to create our flower, simply line it up with the center base, the center of the flower. I'm choosing to make a 5-petal flower just because I like how they look. But you can go all the way around the circle however you like. Okay, wipe this down. And now I'm going to use the line art side of my stamp. And I'm going to stamp on top of the solid petal leaves that we just created. These do not need to be perfect. It's just for fun, and it just graduates your image to be more fun to look at technically. So our flower is complete. I'm going to do the same technique on our flower leaves. Going to use bamboo leaves ink. I'm going to use this scrap paper as a guide. So I'm also going to use the solid side first and duplicate the technique we had just done. Again, the ink is just so dark that I think it would overpower this card. Okay. And we transfer the paper to this side, stamp off the excess. Okay, and now clean it and flip it and stamp the line art on top of the solid, like so. And now we can add the flower petal center, but first we need to add the stem. So poke your scissors through the hole. It does not have to be pretty, it's going to get covered up by the brad. I'm using green and white baker's twine. I use my scissors just to push it through. Here's my mistake on the back. Isn't it pretty? Didn't stamp that off. Oops. So, tape this onto the back. This is going to pull down. And then we are going to create some dirt, houndstooth dirt actually. So we'll set this aside for now and pull out a smaller piece of paper that will go nicely on the bottom of our card. Okay. So this technique, actually I'm not really quite sure it's called a technique or not, but it's just a trick maybe. I use scrap paper underneath. This is my houndstooth pattern stamp. If you do not have an acrylic block, you don't have to worry about that. Peel back the acetate cover so the stamp pattern side is facing up. Now I have my Memento Toffee Crunch ink. Instead of the whole tap, 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 which you can do if you have just a little itty bitty ink pad, which is annoying, instead of doing that, you can actually literally run your ink across the ink pad, across the stamp. Place your paper where you like it. Your fingers will get inky, but that's okay. Use another piece of paper. This is supposed to be bigger. I don't know where I put that. Rub this across the back. Pull it up. Release your stamp. Release your paper. And here's your stamped pattern. All you need to do is wipe it down with a baby wipe and use it over and over and over again. Sorry, can you tell I'm insanely nervous? Okay, so all you need to do, put the acetate cover back over, and you're all ready to move on to the next step. So now I can add my brad to the center of my flower. There it is, my mistake again. So pretty. And this is where this is going to go, down here. So I'm going to hold my twine in place with some tape. You can move it where you need it to go. And then I'm going to adhere my houndstooth to the bottom of my card. Sorry, I am not a roller user. I use photo mounts, so that didn't look too pretty. Okay, we're going to place this over top of our flower stem and complete our card with a ladybug colored sentiment, because we have to bring in the red, of course. So, ta-da! Our pretty card is all done. Well, except for the card base. So, all we need to do is adhere this down, because the white helps the white in the brad pop a little bit more. There's my mistake again. Can't get away from them, can we? And there I go, using this really poorly as well. Okay, I'm going to line up our card base. And we're all done. So thank you so much for joining me for my very first tutorial. This won't be the last, because that was really fun. So hopefully I'll get better as I go. And thanks for joining me. Till next time.